Friends, how are you doing? Thank you for clicking on the second channel here, and let's talk about SoFi. Let's talk about D-Wave, quantum computing. Two very different stocks at very much at the same kind of price range, but going in very two different paths. So I am very bullish on these stocks, 100%. I've been talking about SoFi forever, trying to just, I've been sold on the stock for a while, long time. I mean, coming out of COVID, it's been a long, hard relationship, but now it's finally starting to pay off. It's been undervalued. It's still undervalued for what's coming with it, and obviously quantum D-Wave here, quantum computing. So, friends, thanks so much for being here. Let's get into it. Short and sweet little video here. First things, obviously, SoFi. There is so much expectation of what is coming here with this quarterly here, and this is coming here very, very soon. Essentially next Tuesday. So SoFi right now, I'm trying to get a feel for what's going on with SoFi in article kind of, what's the media saying about SoFi, because it's very interesting. A lot has changed here with SoFi. I mean, this used to be a very picked on stock. Now a lot of things are changing. Now that it's really proving itself and continuing to, just do amazing with quarterlies, deals, partnerships, all that kind of stuff, and just people that keep opening accounts with them. Since quarterlies are coming out next week, what I'm seeing, especially in this range of articles and all that, is that articles are very bullish on SoFi, and which is very kind of new. It's usually a 50-50, kind of like, man. It's not what we're seeing anymore. We're seeing pretty much that there is a heavy buy rating on SoFi. So it's fun. It's interesting to see that, the shift has happened here with SoFi, and it's finally getting the attention it should. I do think that SoFi will end at one of these numbers this year, more than likely. I highly thought that SoFi was going to at least be at $30 right now. I'm about $8 short compared to where it's been floating around here in this, $20, $22 range. But I do think that with quarterlies coming out here next week, if SoFi can come out with another banging quarterly, maybe it blows expectations away. Maybe they do something really special here we didn't see. Maybe it hits $1 billion quarterly, maybe it hits over. I don't know if it'd be that much, but they're close nonetheless. In this revenue stream, the next quarterlies that will be coming here for 2025, SoFi has a chance to really hit into $1 billion quarterly, which will change a lot of things here. I do think that SoFi is undervalued. I think this is a $50 stock all the way this year. Now, will we hit a $50 stock this year? I don't know. SoFi continues to be a underdog. It continues to be a undervalued stock. People are not taking it serious enough. Now, even SoFi being at this $20 position that we've seen this huge spike up, this huge climb going into quarterlies here. If SoFi can keep this momentum in this at least high teen range at $18 to $22 range here after quarterlies, because obviously there's going to come sell off, but there will come another push here with SoFi undoubtedly. Especially too, if rate cuts are actually going to happen here. I don't know at this point. I mean, I don't even want to get into that conversation with Jerome and Trump and all that. No one knows at this point. But if we do see rate cuts happen sooner than later here, obviously all the bank stocks will do well, but the market will run hard. But SoFi obviously could really push into some numbers that we have not seen before. So I would say there's a lot more chance that SoFi is going to continue to do well here the rest of the year, even if we have some tidal waves in the market here. Obviously, we will. But SoFi stands a lot of chance to continue to, just be revolutionary kind of company, what it's doing. SoFi obviously is a banking stock, but two, with that, they're really focusing on their technology. They really went this route of having the bank in the palm of your hand on your phone. And that's really what they pushed into when a lot of banks they were, but still SoFi has really pushed into that a lot more. I think this is something that everyone should be a part of with SoFi. I really do mean that. I was telling people to buy SoFi at $4, and now I was telling them to buy it at $10, $15, and we're still at $20. I'm still telling people, even when SoFi goes to $30, I'm still going to be telling people to buy SoFi, because the long term, the next, let's fast forward 5 years from now. imagine what revenue is going to be in 5 years. SoFi undoubtedly in the next 5 to 10 years could have a dividend attached to it. And think if you're able to really pile up some hefty shares of SoFi here, well, maybe you're going to start getting a dividend here in the near future. That's pretty exciting. That's good investing right there. That's not gambling. That's solid concrete. That's investing right there. That's something you really worked towards. You really did. You waited, and now you're getting paid for your investment. Plus, it's going up too. It's a double whammy right there for you. It's really good. So, friends, like I said, I've talked about SoFi so much. I just want to kind of keep it short and sweet here. I do think that these quarterlies are going to just be what they've been. Fantastic. Great. But I am curious to see, is SoFi really going to maybe shock and maybe do even better than what the mass is expecting here with these quarterlies? Kind of what Robinhood did here not long ago, where Robinhood was like, well, they're headed towards $1 billion quarterly, and then I think it was like it was Q4 of 2024 here, where it just jumped to that over $1 billion quarterly, and everyone went, oh my god. And when that happened, that is what really has been setting Robinhood here into this just ridiculous run. Robinhood went from this stock that was 20, 30, 40 bucks, now it's over $100. So imagine if SoFi, who was already a strong company, strong foundation, they just start busting into $1 billion quarterly with all this going on. Things could get a little crazy here, and people are going to be chasing what was a $10 stock, $20 stock. This is how things get expensive very fast. And just to wrap it up on D-Wave here, this is fairly a new situation. This is a new complicated situation in the market with these quantum computing stocks, obviously. And there's more quantum computing stocks. QBTS here, D-Wave, is just something that I've been focusing on a lot. And one of the reasons, too, is because of the last quarterly that came out. The last quarterly that came out was just insane. It was crazy. So I'm really curious to see what Q2 is going to be here. And I am going to tell you what, if this next quarterly comes out here, which is August 7th with D-Wave here, if it beats the last quarterly, what that was, oh my God, this stock is going to go stupid nuts. I'm telling you right now, it is going to go crazy. So right now, this stock has been trailing around this $20, $21 position, trying to get to a $22 position, which is freaking nuts. This was a $6 stock just a moment ago, and now look at it. I remember talking about this stock when it was like $5, $4. I was like, yeah, this is a really interesting situation, partnerships, what's going on, blah, 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 blah. And then that quarterly came out, and everyone went, holy freaking crap. And they started buying it. So from a $6 to $22 just off that one quarterly, that was massive. This went from a $4 million revenue quarterly stream of a stock company to now right over $15 million per quarterly. Okay, so if this next quarterly comes out, this Q2 here, and it touches that again, or maybe it does even more, dude, this stock is going to go ballistic more than what people are. We're going to be in 20s. We're going to be maybe in 30s. People are going to be eating up this stock for the futures of what's coming. Now, obviously, it's going to be way too expensive. It's going to be, mathematically not make sense for what the stock price is compared to the market cap, and then that person will complain. They're always in here. It's fine. I understand it completely. But what you're going to be buying at that point, you're going to be buying hype. You're going to be buying to be a part of the party. You're going to be buying because, well, you got to the party late, and now it costs a little more money to get in here. So that might be what's about to happen here with this stock. I don't know. I say I don't know because this is a whole new revenue stream. This is a whole new situation for this company right now. I love stocks. I love following them. I love the stock market. And this is such an interesting situation for me. I'm just like, I'm geeking out about it essentially because I love watching what's happening here right now. It's so cool and interesting to be a part of this and watch the stock really get into this new stream of revenue. Now, I would be willing to say, even if they don't come out with another huge quarterly, that they're probably still going to be somewhere in this, $11 to $8 million range in revenue. I would have to imagine somewhere at the worst in that range, which is still really good, which means on the backside of things, maybe the worst we could see is that the stock will continue to hold this $15 to $18 position, maybe, somewhere in there. So this is a really, right now, promising situation. That's and it just happened just like that. And listen, quantum computing stocks are still getting talked about. I don't think that their moment has come in the market. Maybe it'll be next year. Last year was a lot of chips. This year it's a lot of software security. Maybe next year we'll be talking about quantum computing stocks. Maybe, if not robot stocks. I don't know. Maybe they'll mix together. But still, I would watch this stock, friends. I really would. I wouldn't even say right now like it's too expensive for you. I would watch it. It could get a little ridiculous what's going on over there. There are plenty of ways for this stock to get even more expensive. 100%. Friends, I cannot thank you enough for being here, listening to me talk. I really do mean it, and just supporting the second channel and getting up and going. I love talking about just other, maybe stocks that a lot of people aren't talking about or pushing into, but I think there's something there. And, D-Wave is one of those ones that really got out of control really fast. Even SoFi, but SoFi, I think SoFi just, like I said, SoFi was such an underdog stock for a while, and SoFi got shadowed out by a lot of other moments in the market, with last year chip stocks doing really well, AI stocks doing really well. This year, AI stocks continue to be, just the talk of the town. But finally, SoFi is really, really getting noticed. And SoFi, too, has great technology. That's one thing about the stock that is bringing in a lot of investor relationship and, really focusing on what's going over there in SoFi. So, friends, even if you're not investing in these stocks, totally fine. I get it. But pay attention to them, know about them, learn about them. I think even if they're stocks you don't invest in, learn about those stocks. They'll teach you, because there may be another company in the future that, like, hey, there's another quantum computing stock. I know a little bit about quantum computing stocks, how they move, how they work. I know about this one over here. Some other banking stock that's coming up that's really focusing on technology. Something like SoFi. It's just good to kind of have your mind in these kind of things here for future endeavors. Friends, thank you so much. I'll talk to you soon. Bye, everyone.